So welcome everyone. My name is Dora Gyarmati, and I will be teaching your yoga today. Hannah asked me to introduce myself a little bit. So I've been teaching yoga now, oh gosh, I'm going to age myself, but close to 18 years, and I've seen yoga change quite a bit through these 2 decades in the United States. I also teach mindfulness and resilience to institutions and government agencies. Um, my approach is really, I have another company, it's called M3B Method, where it's the pillars between the mind, the body, and the spirit. So mindful movement, meditation, and breathing kind of brings it all together. And I'm going to teach you just a really simple vinyasa class with that. And I'm here in my studio in Issaquah. Um, so I used to have one in West Seattle, but COVID ate it. So now I got one here in Issaquah. And I teach teachers as well, and blah, blah, blah. It's all good. Um, but you're here to practice, so let me get you started on that. And I do have two devices. I have a computer right in front of me. So if you're needing to communicate a chat for whatever reason, uh, you can always just write something and I will see it right in front of me, okay? All right. So as always, let's start in child's pose. Just allow your forehead to make contact with the earth, and you can kind of rock it side to side. Take a big breath where you feel a bit resistance in the back body, right? Hold it in a little bit and then just a ha. Walk the fingers forward. We come to fingertips. Take one more deep inhale. And exhale. And gingerly glide to hands and knees. And then settle into cat-cow. So inhale, elongate, look forward. On the exhale, tuck the chin around the spine. And then just follow your breath. So samavriti, equal breath. Steady inhale, steady exhale. And now find that in between. That's not a cat, it's not a cow. So you're not slouching into your low back, but there's a little tuck. As you tuck the tailbone, notice how it draws the lower abdominal muscles into a little bit of engagement, and you're creating space out of your shoulders as well. And you're going to extend the right leg back and give it a dorsiflexion with the ankle. Really press through the quadricep and then simultaneously tuck the tailbone and push up and out of your shoulders. So it kind of feels like your whole trunk body, the front of the abdominals, is engaged and lifted without curvature to the spine. Now, deep inhale, deep exhale. Deep inhale, keep pressing the leg to that parallel position so the hamstring is engaged. Now, point your foot. And we're going to swing the leg out straight to the right side. Just tap the toe down and then give it a nice slow swing out and across to the other side. Look at the left shoulder a little bit, let the right hip swing out. And then bring the torso back to neutral. You're going to swing the leg out to the right side, anchor the foot down. Inhale, reach up, and then grab a hold of your left wrist. Inhale up, and then leaning a little bit over to the right. Simultaneously, push the hip forward. So you're opening the front of the hip flexor. Side body. Deep inhale. And exhale. And then gingerly you release it out. Tap down the left hand out to the side and then reach the right arm overhead. And if you have the space in your hip flexor, kick step the leg behind you and just take some back strokes. I just freeing yourself up to create space into that breath. And then we're going to forward stroke a few times. And then there will be optimum time to just kind of carry that stroke right back to hands and knees, and then let the emotion and the sensation pass with the cat-cow, right? Just allow it to give space. And then just as meticulously press up and out of the shoulders. Left leg goes back, flex the foot back. So now you know I'm going for a hamstring awareness. Most of us want to lengthen and stretch the heck out of that hamstring, but really for most of us, it's atrophied. So I really like to bring little awareness to the hamstring and then to the core body as you tug the tailbone and really engage through all the core muscles. Deep inhale and exhale. And then point the foot, swing it just for a tap out to the left, just for a tap out to the right. Look at the right shoulder, give the hip a little lateral rotation there. And then swing it back, coming up to gate pose. Grab the right wrist and then lean over to the left. And by the way, Vinyasa Yoga, as you can tell, it has a little choreography. So if you're new to it and if you get lost, well, I hope you're laughing because at the end, it's not about the pose. It's about how we relate ourselves to the pose, how to relate ourselves to our life and our breath. So just notice emotional reactions and see if you can guide to a better place. Right hand down, left arm overhead, big juicy breath overhead. And then you can kick step behind you as well and just explore a good stretch. Almost doesn't even matter what it looks like. Just get a good stretch in there. Breathe into it. And then let's sweep the arms forward and allow that sweeping to come back to your hands and knees. Anchor the palms down, tuck your toes, and then downward facing dog. So the primary concern of a down dog is an extended spine and a released head and supported shoulders. Everything else is superficial. So bending the knees is a really good way to kind of get the tailbone up and to see if you can melt the chest a little more back. Right? It's not about the straight knees, it's about the straight spine. Yoga wants you have a straight spine, both physically and metaphorically. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Inhale the right leg up. Rotate the hip open, bend the upper knee. By the way, if the down dog gets too much, do it from hands and knees. It's all the same. Just get some hip movements. Motion is the lotion. If you guys are in, healthcare, you know that the synovial fluid builds during motion, getting a little bit of spaciousness and liquidity to that hip bone. And then extend the leg up and step it through. Now in vinyasa, we step through a lot. And for some of you guys, that's just a really bad joke. So if the foot gets stuck, you're going to grab the ankle, maybe even release the opposite knee down, and then just gently make sure you can stack the joints, right? So you draw the chest forward and then straighten to your ability. You just want to feel the stretch. Inhale, shift forward and straighten to your ability. Inhale, shift forward and straighten to your ability. Inhale, shift forward, back knee goes down. Reach your arms up. And now give me a big lion, a morning scream. Let it out. Ah. Inhale, reach up. I'm going to come to the top of the mat to forward fold. Let the hips be about hip distance apart. And again, it's early morning, so bend your knees. You don't want to strain the hamstring and the low back. Bend the knees enough that you can feel that you can just relax that spine and your head is hanging like a fruit on a tree and you can swing a little bit here. So there's a balance between sikastura, effort and ease, structure and surrender. Your legs are structure, torso and face and neck really relaxes. Interlace the fingers behind your low back and use that to straighten the elbows to rinse out the shoulder. Breath comes in, breath goes out. One more inhale. And exhale. Gingerly release the arms, heel toe the feet together, and then make sure you're clinching via the hamstring and the glutes as you come halfway lift, flat spine. It's like a deadlift. You want to feel your scapula coming together and down your back. Forward fold. Again, use your glutes to stand up. Never lift from your back. Inhale, reach up, reach up, reach up. And then bow forward, exhale. Halfway lift to a flat spine with strong gluteus medius. Use your glutes. Set the hands down. Walk the feet back. Look forward. Quadriceps engages. Inhale, shift forward, knees down, and then just tenderly, slowly all the way down. Press the top of the feet down. Low cobra, inhale. Exhale, back down. Inhale, low cobra. Try to use the breath all the way. You're still inhaling. And then use your core to slowly exhale, 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 exhale. One more time. Low cobra. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Maybe you pick up the hands just a millimeter off the floor. And then back. Exhale, exhale. Inhale, hands and knees. And then back to downward facing dog. Ah. Can you feel the spine long? If not, bend the knees, tilt the tailbone up. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale the left leg up. Rotate the hip open, bend the upper knee. Again, you're just searching, right? Mindfulness, it's not about perfection. Actually, perfectionism is, it's really hard on us. It's stressful. The mindfulness is simply noticing, right? Noticing, and then in some strange ways, it allows us to bear the discomfort longer. I get into that a lot, but you just want to notice whatever is going on, it's okay. It doesn't have to be good or bad. As Shakespeare said, thinking makes it so anyway. Extend the leg up and then step it through. Remember, help yourself if the leg gets stuck. Draw the chest forward, inhale. Exhale to straighten to your ability. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale to straighten to your ability. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, back knee down, reach the arms up. One more time to release energy that's not needed. Inhale, reach up and feet to the top of the mat, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Your hands to your heart. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Maybe you close your eyes and rock a little bit back and forth. Spread the toes just to be more consciously aware of the proprioception through the legs and your reflexes. And as you slowly open the eyes, we'll just do the simplest vinyasa there is. So connecting breath to movement. Inhale to reach the arms up. Exhale to bring hands to heart. So every movement has a breath. Inhale, reach the arms up. Hands to heart. Inhale. Exhale. Now we'll start a very nice and steady Surya Namaskar A, Sun Salutation A. Inhale, reach up. Bow forward, exhale. Halfway lift, flat spine. Inhale. Step into plank pose as you exhale. Inhale, shift forward. Knees down, all the way down. Exhale. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, back down. Inhale, hands and knees. Exhale, downward dog. Breath comes in. Breath goes out. Thoughts come in. Thoughts go out. Lift your heels, bend the knees, step or steps to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Inhale, forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, rise up. Hands to heart. Now we'll do two more sun salutation A's because this is the connective element that allows every pose to connect. But I want to give you options. So here it is, second time. Inhale, reach up. Bow forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Walk it back to plank. This is where we were earlier. Shift forward, knees down. Now you could try for a low push-up where your elbows are in 90 degrees and you're sustaining a plank, which is actually not that easy, right? And you could press the top of the feet down, extend through the arms. Your quadriceps are strong. Their knees are off the floor and you're tucking your tailbone. You're able to lift the sternum up while the shoulder blades glide down. And then you flip-flop the toes over again and press back to downward dog. If you feel like that's not happening, that's okay. You're going to stay with the first variety where you lower all the way down and you do a low cobra. Inhale and exhale. Step or steps to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale to rise all the way up. Hands to heart. And the third version, let's do it together. You can always pick the one you like. Inhale, reach up. Bow forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Plank pose. And remember, you can lower all the way down. We can go to a push-up with the knees down, or chaturanga is elbows in 90 degrees. And it's basically a low push-up, right? And then upward facing dog and downward facing dog. It's always better to have less, but feel that you're building that sikastura, that structure and freedom, instead of try to do more and then you're collapsed in a shoulder and you're sagging in your low back, and that's how you get injured with vinyasa yoga. So less is more. Step to the top of the mat, halfway lift, and fold. Come all the way up. So now you know your options, right? And I can't say it all the time because, well, that's just too many words. Chair pose. But whenever that little sun A comes up, you know you got choices. So in chair, it's very often students sit into their low back, and then the primary sensation is a strain in the low back. That should not be. Tuck the tailbone. Another way of seeing that is the pubic bone comes towards the navel. And the primary engagement is down through the gluteus medius, through the hamstring. Okay, so actually there's a sense of, yeah, use, but ease through the back. And then you're also lifting up through the low abdominals. And then arms can be wherever you want them, as long as you're not straining the shoulders up against your ear. I know I held you here long enough. So one more breath in chair. And then bow forward, ha. Halfway lift, inhale. Walk to plank pose. You get it? All the way down or chaturanga. Cobra or upward dog. Downward facing dog. Breath in. and out. Inhale the right leg up. And now just take your time to step the foot through. Anchor the back heel down, warrior one. Deep inhale and exhale. I'm getting a little too hot in the sleeves. So then try to get the back toes to face a little bit forward so you can square the hips forward. The right hip back. Take a deep inhale so the ribs and the abs are moving. And we'll grab a hold of the left wrist. Inhale up, and as you squeeze the back thigh, inhale the whole length of the torso up. Now tuck your tailbone and lean a little bit to the right. Right, so the hip flexor and the psoas on the left side is getting a bit more extension here. Deep inhale. And exhale. And then bring it through center. And open it out to warrior two. Well, I always wiggle the feet, right? So you're not stuck on your mat. And as you're in a warrior two, pretend that you're on ice and you're about to do the splits, which you really don't want to do. So you're drawing the feet towards the center line. As a result, the inner thighs, the adductors, again, the hamstrings are also engaged. You're not just sitting in your outer hip. And then flip your palms up a little bit, look back and forth to make sure that the shoulder muscles ease down, the scapula kind of falls down on the back. And as you turn the forearm back down, just try to leave them there. Steady breath. Sensations come, sensations go. It's not an essential part of the I, not who I am. On your inhale, reach the right arm up and now feel the space between the right hip and the right armpit. And see if you can just stretch it out. So you're visualizing, sensing that lengthening in. One more breath into it. And we're going to take a side angle, right forearm to your thigh, but then make sure not to fall to your shoulder. You're going to push up and out of the shoulder and then reach the left arm up and overhead. And now create the space, the length between the back foot and your upper hand. And as you squeeze that straight leg, if it's okay with your neck, take the gaze a little bit upward, but the rotation is coming from the lift up and out of the shoulder and navel out. You're not cranking your neck. Your neck is in a neutral position. Deep inhale and exhale. One more deep inhale and exhale. Now we're going to sweep the horizon. I know that's a Dora special. All that I did is just shifted to the left leg, and this is a side lunge. And I know you're seeing my bum, and that's just how it goes with vinyasa. Sometimes it's my bum. So see, you can just, the purpose here, it's early in the morning to release the inner thighs a bit. Take one more breath. It's a side lunge, so Skandasana, side lunge. Take one more breath here. And then woogie boogie back to runner's lunge. I do say strange things occasionally. Put the left knee down, left hand down, and then you're going to kick the right leg and the right arm overhead. If you got lost, smile, laugh at me, push up and out of your shoulders, and then just make the shape, right? And then see if you can go elbow to knee, exhale. Inhale, extend, and elbow to knee. Inhale, and elbow to knee. Inhale, and elbow to knee. Inhale one more time. And now see if you can catch the foot behind you and kick it out. If that's not happening, don't worry. All you're going to do is tap the foot down behind you, keep lifting out of the shoulder, and then open up. As long as you're stretching the hip in the front, right? And all these abdominals, mission accomplished, all is good. Take one more breath. And then we'll come back to hands and knees. Tuck the toes under and then downward facing dog. Let the head go. Breath comes in and breath goes out. Inhale the left leg up. On your exhale, step it through warrior one. So you anchor that back foot, lift with your legs as you rise up. If you feel like, darn it, Dora, I cannot square my hips forward, look at that back foot. Maybe it's pivoting too parallel to the back of the mat, or maybe it's too narrow. You might have to take your feet wider and then pivot the back foot so that you can square your hip better. Remember, the knee is a hinging joint. So if your hip has reached its limit, you do not want to get the rotation from the knee. So just adjust that back foot. And then you can feel as you're breathing that you're energetically drawing the energy up through that leg. Grab a hold of the right wrist, take a juicy breath in, tuck the tailbone, squeeze the thigh, pull the left hip back as you simultaneously lean to the left. Breath in and breath out. Come through center and warrior two. Again, effort in the legs. Legs are drawing the energy. Ease in the shoulders. And then there's a comfortable intensity that somehow the breath is allowing to steady. Inhale and exhale. Keep gripping with the feet. Feet are active. Inhale and exhale. Reverse your warrior. Side body stretch. So the whole purpose, why am I doing it? It's because it feels so good to stretch into my side. Take one more breath into it. And then we come to a supported extended side angle. So elbow goes down, right arm goes overhead. You take a big breath, again, finding the linear element from back foot to upper hand. And then if there is the gaze up, it comes from a rotation from the abdominal and the latissimus. Right? You're using the upper axillary back muscle that to pull the shoulder blade down to create the rotation. One more breath. And then sweep the horizon and switch whichever leg is bent, right? So you're switching over to the right. And then you wiggle the feet to the position where you're like, hey, I think I'm feeling a good little stretch here. Maybe you lean into it a little more and, maybe you're higher up and you don't go so low that you have knee pain, right? You never tolerate that stuff. Take one more breath. And then woogie boogie back to runner's lunge. Right knee goes down, right hand goes down. Kick out the left leg, reach the left arm overhead. Just make the shape if you got lost. Being comfortable with getting lost in life is, I think, a good lesson from yoga. Just no big deal. I'm just going to take a breath. I have absolutely nothing to prove. Elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Elbow to knee. Inhale. And then reach for the foot. If it doesn't go, that's okay. You still have a foot. And it's lovely. You can just find a different kind of stretch. As long as you feel that you're stretching the front of the hip area, that's the pose. right? And this crazy Instagram social, whatever crazy culture we're having right now with that. And yoga kind of became about what is the ideal pose. And it's really the pose is never, there's a unique pose for every person. And the right pose is where you feel that there is a balance of structure and ease. Come back, hands and knees. There's an ideal alignment for each individual, but they cannot be generalized, right? So somebody from Cirque du Soleil will have a different alignment than somebody in their mid 70s trying to do yoga. Downward facing dog. It's about the feel and the purpose. What is the purpose? How do I feel? Deep inhale, deep exhale, deep inhale, exhale. Step or steps to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. There goes that deadlift. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, rise all the way up. Reach a little bit up and back, up and back. And hands to heart, samastiti. Breath in and breath out. Now shift your weight to your right foot. I'm going to lift the left knee up. And here's the thing with balancing. Just keep trying to use your toes, right? Especially the big toe. You want to grip with the foot, but not be a death grip, right? And then if you fall, that's okay. Just keep coming back. So it takes a while to get the stabilizing muscles on board completely. We're going to rotate the torso over towards the lifted knee. So to the left, right arm formed, like right arm, left arm back. And now see if you can keep the leg up as you rotate the torso the other way, which is a tricky one. We usually don't use those muscles as much. So if you're falling, you're laughing, and you just keep on coming back. You know, the hardest thing is to come back. That's the hard part. And then bring yourself back to center. If you need to take a break, take a break. I've been standing on this one leg for 48 years practicing either gymnastics or yoga. So my muscles are used to it. I'm going to take this left leg back and grab my foot in Natarajasana dancing. And again, some of you guys might think, well, that was a really bad joke. You can't grab the foot, no problem. You're just going to, I call it the fake grab, which is actually a harder pose. You're utilizing more of the hamstring here. Take one more breath. And then try to release slowly. If it didn't work out that way, well, sometimes life is like that. Release the leg. And now pick up the right leg, which is the first good thing I said all day, right? Shake it out a little bit. We're going to take the leg across and sit down. So it looks from the front, it looks like this. So the knee goes out. So this is like a built-in counter pose for the balancing posture. You were standing on a right leg and it really used a lot of the outer hip and so forth. So it's kind of nice to stretch it out here. Okay, but I'll turn back around so I can do the next pose. Since it's vinyasa, I have to kind of. Now, see if you can take right hand on your knee. And again, you're going to use your tush. Try to feel that you're lifting via the hamstring as you come back up to standing here. And now we'll send the right leg back to arabesque, which I borrowed from ballet and gymnastics because the airplane I found was harmful to my students without the arabesque. So your toe is just lightly touching and you squeeze the thighs together. Now you can take one hand to the low belly, one to the low back and tuck under. So you feel that there's support for the back. And all of a sudden, not only do your abs engage, but the adductors, the inner thighs. Now squeeze the arms back. And you might even notice like, man, this is a lot of work here. Doesn't look like much, but it's a lot of work. Right? A lot of us feel like that in our everyday jobs. It's like, it doesn't look like much what I do, but it's a lot of work. Somebody appreciate it. Yeah, just put them in arabesque, right? All right, little bend in that knee. Now you go to that airplane, but hold on to the essence of the feel of the arabesque. So you only tilt to the degree that you can sustain that tuck and lift. Otherwise, you're just going to ruin your low back. All right, slowly come out, shake it out for, I know that was a long series. You know what? We're going to rinse it out with the sun salutation. Inhale. I have some weird ideas for relaxation. Bow forward. Halfway lift. Walk it back to plank. Your version of low push-up. So all the way down or halfway down. Low cobra or upward dog. Downward facing dog. Breath comes in, and breath goes out. Thoughts come in, thoughts go out. One more deep inhale and exhale. Step or steps to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale, flat spine, forward fold, exhale, let the head go. Use your legs, inhale, rise up. Hands to heart, samastitihi. Ha. Inhale and exhale. Now shift the weight to the left foot, lift the right knee up. Right, so there is grip, but not too much. And you notice the knee's a little bit bent to allow you to use your hamstring. Ha 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 ha. There goes that hamstring again. Right arm back, left arm forward. Breathe, or at least notice that you're not breathing and then laugh it off. Try to keep the leg up as you twist the torso over to the other side. What kind of muscles do I use here? See how far you can twist it. Bring it back to center. See if you can keep the leg up. If you need a break, well, thank goodness the floor is still there. Release the right arm down. Grab the foot for Natarajasana dancer. Remember, if it's not in a reach, you hold it here. Do the intention of the grab, just as good. Just keep the mind steady. Notice when you go into a non so constructive thought process, right? Are your thoughts actually helping you with what is happening right now? And then try to slowly release it and shift to the other leg. So here comes that chair where you take the ankle across, the knee folds out, and you sit down to a place where like, I can feel a tush stretch. It's good. I can breathe into it, right? I just want to have constructive thoughts that are lined up with a way of life that allows dignity and peace. Notice I did not use the word happy and joy and stress-free. That's ridiculous. That's not life. That's Walt Disney, right? So chasing happiness is the number one way to make sure you stay miserable. Keep your left hand on the left knee. Bring yourself up to standing. Breathing here. Good. Let's see if we can slowly take this left leg back to that arabesque. So you point the leg. There's an engagement through both legs. You almost feel like you can lift yourself out of your own hip here. Tuck the tailbone, glide the shoulder blades down, and then zip it up, zip it up, zip it up to the center line. Deep inhale and deep exhale. One more breath. And back to being bipedal. Thank goodness. Oh, I didn't tip you down to airplane. It's okay. You didn't miss it. Let's just keep going. Inhale, reach up. I'm not a morning person. Bow forward. Halfway lift. And then walk it to plank. A little bit imperfection is all right. Halfway down or all the way down. Cobra or upward dog. And downward facing dog. Breath comes in and breath goes out. Inhale the right leg up. Step it through. Let's put the back knee down. Inhale, reach up. Hands to heart. And we'll twist to the right. If that's too much, you're going to put the forearm down, make a fist, and leverage an extension. Remember, spine is always wanting to be extended. That's what's most important. And then another option, if it's okay for you here, is to tuck the back toe under and lift the back knee up. But then you zip up. You don't sag into the hip. You zip it up. You try to lift up, and you're lifting up and out of your shoulder as well. And breathing. Open up the arms. Lower hand could be on a block on the inside. I've been practicing with the hand on the inside and then pulling the right hip back. It's plenty. I don't feel like I need to go all the way across and breathe pretzel. I don't have anything to prove. Deep inhale and exhale. The spine is long, the breath is free. And then anchor the back heel down. To help your low back, you might want to put your right hand on a knee so you can press up to that warrior two with a bit more ease. Inhale, reverse the warrior. I'm going to straighten the leg, squeeze the thigh, and now grab a hold of your left hip and look at your left shoulder. Keep squeezing the thigh. Good. Now keep your right arm straight as you reach and hinge at the hip forward, and then just lightly tap your thigh, actually. So you're quite upright. You're not low, you're very high, and your hand is on your thigh with a straight arm. And can you look at your left shoulder again? Feel how this left quadricep is in synchronicity with the obliques and the transverse abdominis, right? These side abdominal muscles. So see if you can keep that engagement. You keep gripping with the feet and the legs as you reach the right arm now overhead. So I'm quite up high, right? I'm using the abs. Good. Now, only if it's okay with your back, you have enough strength in your abs to sustain a double-armed overreach. Then you do it. Otherwise, why would you? And then bend the front knee, come on to starfish, and you're going to tilt toes out, heels in into horse stand. And I'll turn around because it's friendlier, but you're still facing that way. Right? So turn out and then see how low you can sit your hips here. And we'll take the arms in a goddess. And then press the forearms together as best you can at the height of your shoulders. Steady breath. It's okay if the elbows don't touch. That just means that, you need to practice. That's all. Those muscles will come. Sometimes when we have really strong upper body, the muscles shorten. So it's kind of nice to get that mobility back. One more breath. Then we're going to come back to starfish. And then I straddle forward fold. And I always bend my knees a little bit before. I'm going to show forward fold so you can surrender easier. Shake the head out. And then we'll pivot to the top of the mat. Release the back knee down. Bring the torso up. Grip with the front foot. And we'll do a half camel, Ardha Ustrasana. Just the goal is to lift up through the chest. Steady breath. And then bring your torso up. I was going to give you one more push-up, but you know what? Let's just go back to downward dog. I sometimes know that my beginning classes are quite difficult, so there it's sometimes a good reminder for me to just take it a little easier. So just go back to downward dog and take one more breath. Deep inhale and exhale. Inhale the left leg up. Step it through. So we'll do the crescent lunge twist. Remember, we could start with the back knee down. Inhale, torso up. And then just find the right amount of twist. Where is the freedom of the breath, freedom of the spine? The rest doesn't matter. Freedom of the breath, freedom of the spine, option to lift the back knee up. Deep inhale and deep exhale. And then open up the arms. Freedom to the breath and the spine. Let that arm be where you can do that. And then left hand to the knee, anchor the back heel down, warrior two. Reverse the warrior, straighten the legs, squeeze the thighs. Right hand on the hip, you extend just enough forward that if you release this left hand down straight to the thigh, right, I moved maybe a couple of inches, and there's a straight line from my back thigh to the torso. So I feel the side abdominals are fully functional here. Little tuck in the tailbone, engaging of the quadricep, and then take the arm overhead, the lower arm. So it's only if you feel that you're drawing and supporting the spine from the leg and the torso do you take both arms overhead. And you're not low, you're not parallel, you're definitely not below that. That's not. Take one more breath, come back through center. And this time when you go to horse stand, toes out, heels in, we do the fun part where you take the hands to your thigh, then you just go side to side. One more breath here. Coming through center, and then a nice forward fold. Letting go. And then we'll pivot to the front. Back knee goes down. Ardha Ustrasana, half camel. So you stabilizing through the leg, lifting up through the chest. Steady breath. And then you use the grip of the legs and the core to come back to neutral. See if you can pick up that left foot. Take it a bit to the side, pivoting the toe outward. And then we'll just scooch that other foot forward as well, coming into Malasana squat. Now, you never let your knees hurt. So if a squat is painful, you're going to stay up and obey the rule of 90 degrees, right? And you breathe where you are. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. And then reach the arms forward and roll all the way back onto your back. Finally, right? Give it a little bit of massage on the low back, going this way and that way. And then just a mild and quick little bridge. Set the feet down. Make sure you have an equanimity through the soles of the feet, and then you lift the hips up. Deep inhale. And exhale. One more deep inhale. You take the hands to the rib cage. Make sure it's moving. Make sure even the belly is moving. And then on the exhale, you pull the belly in and engage the core so you can slow the exhale down. One more time. Deep inhale. Exhale. Deep inhale. And then just nice and easy, slowly lower all the way down. Hug your knees to chest. And we'll take a reclined pigeon so that right ankle is going to go across. And then the right hand shoots the gap between the two legs and interlace the fingers behind the left leg. And just pull that whole structure towards you, maybe a little bit rock it side to side. Stay with your breath in these quiet moments. Notice and bring the mind back to the breath. One more deep inhale and exhale. And then just switch it over to the other side. So recline pigeon, take left leg across, noticing sensations, how they change. Deep inhale, deep exhale. One more deep inhale and exhale. And then extend both legs up and just give them a good shake, 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 shake. Maybe circle out the ankle. And then hug the knees in, take both knees to the right, arms out to letter T, and see if you can empty out the breath completely. So at the end of the exhale, is there just a little more to exhale? One more breath. Then you only use the legs once the abs are engaged. So a little bit, pull the abs in, then move the legs over to the other side. Once you have touchdown, you can let the belly relax. And again, can I exhale a little more? Can I let go? Just a little more. And engage your core, bring the legs back to center, and then slowly straighten them out and just give yourself permission 1 minute. That's all. 1 minute. Shake the whole body out, let everything go. And then just Shavasana. Stay in Shavasana. Allow the breath to become natural without control. If you need to adjust to release something that sneaked into the body with tension, just do so. And then take a deep, deep inhale, hold it in, hold it in, sniff it a little more, and then let it go. Wiggle fingers and toes. And just slowly bring yourself to a seated position. Allow the mind and the spine to steady for a second. Finding that peace within and the peace throughout. finding strength to recall this peace when the world around us doesn't reflect it back. Still within you. Just have to remember, in some ways, it's also our responsibility. Just keep providing that peace. Inhale, reach up, hands to heart. Inhale. Thank you for giving me the gift of teaching. Peace be with you. Namaste.